Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and today I have a technique card to share with you. And I am going to share both cards. I already did the stamping and coloring and everything I need to do, but I want to show you the two styles of cards that these are. They're both slider cards. And so this one, I hope you can see it because it's so cute. It opens like that. And then it also has, let me see if I can, it also opens like that. It's super, super cute and really easy. Now, I know they look so difficult, but the original idea, I got this from Jennifer McGuire, but she used a die to create this card. And I'm going to use a die, but I'm using one single die, and I'm using a Stampin' Up die, and that is the stitched rectangle. And this makes this super easy and really quick without having to buy a whole die to make this card. It's really, really easy. I did put pull on there on this one, and I used my Make a Difference stamp set, which is this one right here. But I didn't do it on this one. I just put the little tab on there. And if you want to put a tab on it, you will have to make a bigger envelope. You don't really need the tab, but it does show the person that they need to pull on it to get it to open. And then I did this one, and you just pull this one. This one opens a lot easier. This one's a little bit tight, but it works really good. But this one opens like that, super cute. And this one, it doesn't open. This is the whole card right here. So I used some of our adhesive strips, and these are the foam adhesive strips. So I just put one on each side and one on the bottom, and I have to tell you, it makes this super easy. You can probably do the same thing on this one, which I may try on this one, because it does make it, this is a little bit tighter of a fit, but I didn't want to make it any thicker because it has a card with it. So this one is just, this is the whole card right there, and just put your sentiment on the inside. So these are what I'm showing. I already stamped the balloons, and I stamped and colored the images here that we're using. And this is the Jar of Flowers stamp set that I'm using. I'm going to use a different, I'm using this one this time. I'm making it a different color so you can see a difference. This one I'm making just like this one. And this is the So Much Happy. You know, I've been having so much fun with this stamp set. So that's what I'm using for this. And then the inside sentiment, I used the Best Year for that. It's just got so many really cute sentiments in it. And I use this hello right here for this hello that's on the jar. All right, so this may be a longer video, so I'm just warning you ahead of time. But stick around because they're really fun to do and really pretty simple to make. So let's get started. All right, so for this one, I'm going to do first the Jar of Flowers one. So I have these both. I need to punch this. I forgot to do that. I need to punch it with our jar punch. So let's just go ahead and punch that really quick. These are so easy. I should have made this piece a little bit longer, bigger, so I didn't have a hard time punching it. In fact, this is what I do when it's too short. I just add a piece of temporary adhesive there, and then we can punch it. So there's a little tip for you. I didn't even think I was going to give you a tip in this video. So that's how I do that if it's too short. So these are the two that we're using for this. You need a piece. This is the card base. It's 5.5 by 4 1/4 Whisper White, and I'm using the thick for this. It works really good for this because it's nice and sturdy. For the top piece, this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. This is for this the actual front of the slider, and then you need a piece for the back. This piece is 3 1/4 by 5. I'll put all these in the video. And then you need 2 pieces that are 1/4 inch by 3 inches. This one's for the tag, so I'm just going to cut this and stamp it. And then this piece is for the front, and it's 3 by 4 1/4. Now all these measurements for both of them are basically the same. So first thing we have to do is we have to use our rectangle die in the Big Shot. So this is the one I'm using. This is the 3rd largest in the group. So it is this one that goes right here. So there's 2 larger than that one. And this is the perfect size for this. So let me grab the Big Shot, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is. So what you're going to do is you are going to do some partial die cutting. So you want to make sure that this is really centered in here, really nice. Eyeball it, but be sure you eyeball it pretty close to it being perfect. And we are going to put this plate up to this edge right here. You don't want to go past that because you don't want to cut that edge off right there. So I'm going right up to it, and then we're going to just run it through. And of course I got it backwards. It's really mature to turn this around. It's just too hard to turn it that way. All right. And I'm going to cut them both at the same time so we don't have to waste time doing that. So you can see it's partially cut. Let me do the other one for the balloon one, so this way we don't have to do it again. All right, that is it for that part. Now it's super simple. So what we're going to do now is what I did first is I just took my ruler, and you want to go from this point where it's cut to the other side. Make sure you're straight, and then just score it there across. And then we're going to fold this over. I'm going to use my finger and then my bone folder. And then there's your 1 score mark right there. Now what you're going to do is we need to score it again, and you're going to score it at 1/4 inch. So you're going to score it at 1/4 inch down here. And then you're going to score it at 2 1/8 inch. And that is in half pretty much. And that's going to fold this way. This is going to fold up like that. Really, really simple. This is basically your mechanism. All right, let's do it on this one. You can do this on the trimmer. I do it on the trimmer too. It just, it's easier to get it straight on the trimmer if you can get it accurate. So you're just going, you don't want to go straight across, you just want to go from the cut to the cut right here. And we're going to fold that over. We're going to score this at 1/4 inch. And then at 2 1/8. And that is it. Now I'll show you how to get the rest of it together. All right, we're going to leave that one alone, and we're going to work on this one. So you need this piece, which is the 3 1/4 by 5. You're going to flip this over, and you are going to put some tear and tape on this 1/8 inch right here. It fits perfectly on there. We're going to remove the backing. And then we are going to line this up. Now when you line this up, I pull this forward so I can see what I'm doing here. You want to center this. You want both pieces on each side. You want the same amount of space there. Line it right up to the edge. Center it, and then just press it down. So you can see the white on both sides. You want that even. All right, so this is basically it for your mechanism. It folds up like that. Now what you're going to do next, because I am putting it on the card base, I'm going to add tear and tape on this. Now if I was doing the other one, I'll do the adhesive backed foam strips. You don't want it too close to the side because you want it free enough for your mechanism to work. Okay, it's going to give me a hard time now, right? I'm getting to the end, so it's getting kind of... All right. So let's take off these backings. This is so sticky. So be very careful. It's going to give me a hard time. It gave me a hard time earlier. Now it's going to do it again. All right. So make sure this is flat when you attach it to the front. And you're going to line that up perfectly on there. So you want to make sure your sides are right. And like I said, be very careful because it is so sticky. Usually if I get the bottom and the side, I usually am okay. All right, so press that down real good. And then this is your little mechanism right here. Now this one is the one that's a little bit tight, but once you keep working it, it's gonna work even better. All right, I'm gonna use my 1-inch circle punch, and I should have done this before I put it down. But now I have to grab inside here. And I'm going to make a little bit of a little notch here. Did I use, no, I didn't use the 1-inch. Oh, yes, I did. I certainly did use the 1-inch. So then just cut a little bit of notch there, just like that. And it makes it easier to grab that piece. That's why you don't want to put your adhesive too close to the sides here, because it will stop this from going up and down. So there is that. Now what we're going to do, we are going to actually stamp these because I forgot to stamp them. And I'm going to stamp those. This little one from the Jar of Flowers, it's this one right here. I'm just going to use some Memento Black. It just gives it a little bit more interest on those little tabs. It's just kind of hiding that area that we had to score there. So we're going to stamp these two little pieces here. There's one and two. I'm going to use wet glue. We're going to add one to the bottom here. And then we're going to add one to the top of this piece right here. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to attach our jar. I'm going to use wet glue for this. I'm going to put this on the bottom here. I am popping up the flowers with some dimensionals. So it's all up to you how you do this, because you may need extra postage if you pop these up. So whatever you want to do, I just really like it popped up. Now we're going to put these, and be careful how tall you make this, because you don't want to get over this part. All right, so we're going to stamp our hello on here. I'm just using Memento Black. And I just cut it kind kind of like a little tag. Just like that. I'm going to kind of stick it underneath here. And then I'm going to use some baker's twine, and I am going to tie a double bow here. This is linen thread actually, not baker's twine. And once you have everything stamped, it did take me a little bit to color this, but I love coloring, so if you're not one to color, you might like the balloon one better, because you just stamp all those. All right, we're going to use a glue dot. And we're going to add that right there. And I'll probably trim these. Now to attach this, you want to just glue where we scored this, right here, this bottom part. So you're just putting adhesive on this bottom part. You're lining this up. And then you are ready to go. It's just like that. And that one is complete. Isn't that cute? Just love this. And then whatever sentiment you want to put on the inside, I'm not going to put one on this one in case I use it for something else. All right, just be really careful. You may want to keep on moving this up and down. See how easier it gets as you work it, because it loosens up the cardstock, but it works really good. So there's that one, and here's the other one like it. All right, let's do the other one. So for this one, this is the piece. We're going to flip this over like we did on the last one. We're going to add some tear and tape to this 1/4 inch piece here. Okay, let's remove that backing. Oops. And this is the piece that we're going to line up here, and you want to make sure that's even. It's easier if you do it this way, but either way, you want to make sure they are lined up pretty close to even on both sides. And this is going to be our mechanism. Now on this one, we're using our foam adhesive strips. And we're going to put one on each end. And then the one in the center. I'll have to trim this one. Okay, we're going to remove the backings of these. And remember, this one's not going to have a card on the back of it. It's just going to be one solid piece. So this piece is the 5.5 by 4 1/4. Once again, you're going to line these up. And again, I didn't cut my 1 inch circle punch here, so you want to do that. There. And I'm going to show you what a difference it makes with the foam strips. So look how freely that moves. Now I like this better, but they both work really good. And once you get this moving, it's going to move a lot easier. All right, so now this is how I did the balloons. We're going to add, let's go ahead and add our strips. I'm leaving these plain on this one. So you're going to put one at the bottom, and then one at the top of this one. And this just gives it a little bit of extra decoration, and it does hide that 1/4 inch where you score. So I cut a 2-inch circle with my 2-inch circle punch. This is for the front of our card. And then we're going to start lining up our balloons. And we're going to just start putting those on. I'm going to again use wet glue. And I'm using wet glue because if I want to move these, you can move them. And again, make sure that it's not going to be too tall, like where you're going to put it. So this is going to fit on here. And you want to make sure it's not going to be too tall over the edge. All right, so I'm going to do that one. We're going to just line them on here. I may have forgotten one. I'm not sure if I did enough here. And I'm going to do this one a little bit different. The Magenta Madness is going to be in the center. So this is why, and I'm going to actually pop this one up with a dimensional, just the center one. Now on these balloons, there we go. On these balloons, I used my white jelly roll pen, and I just added these little white marks here and on the sides just to make the balloons look more realistic. And that's what we're going to do there. Now, all right, for this one, let's go ahead and stick this on here. And again, I want to line it up to make sure I don't go too tall. What I'm going to do here first is we're going to, on this one, we're going to go ahead. I cut really thin strips of basic black for this one, but I'm going to show you a different way that you can do this because this could take a long time to get them on there. It didn't really take that much time, but it's a lot of extra time. But I really liked using these strips, but I'm going to show you another way you can do it. So let's go ahead and adhere this where we want it. And then I'm going to show you another way. So you can use one of your black, a thin Sharpie, and you can just draw lines down. Just like that. The only one you can't draw a line for is that center one. That's up here. So if you want to do it a quick way, you can do it this way. And I think I did add one extra balloon on that one. Let's see, I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 3, 6. Yeah, I'm one short balloon on here. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So I'm going to grab this one piece, and I may move this balloon over a hair because it's going to get in the way of the other. I'm just going to move it a hair over so that when I put this one on, it doesn't get in the way of the other one. So here's how I did this. I need one of the smaller ones. I cut quite a few because I want to make sure I had a thin enough one. So I just added adhesive, some wet glue at the bottom, and I put these down, and that's how I did it. I just cut them. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones because I wanted to just show you you can draw them on there. So all you're going to do is just add the adhesive, and I just like the bolder black on it. So you're just going to add each one. And you really only need like 2 pieces here. And you don't have to be perfect because we are also going to put our sentiment over it. But cutting the strips, you just want to cut really, really narrow ones there. All right, so I'm using the Playful Pets trim, and I'm going to use this black and white striped. I love this one. I thought it'd be really cute for a bow on this balloon. Again, I'm going to use a glue dot. I'm going to put that bow right there. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. So I am going to use the Magenta Madness and Basic Black. And we're going to stamp the happy. I have stuff everywhere, y'all. Stamp the happy. And then we're going to do the birthday and Basic Black Memento ink. Just like that. And I think I pretty much trim this down just a little bit. It is 1 inch, but I just trimmed it down. So let's get our balloons on here. Let's go ahead and put this on. I did pop this up as well with some dimensionals. Let's move some of this junk out of the way. Getting a mess over here. I think this is the first time I've done 2 at one time. And then again, when you adhere this, you want to adhere it just to this bottom piece. So again, I'm going to use wet glue. I'm going to pop that up. Isn't it cute? They're so cute. Another thing that I did, I used my 1-inch circle punch, and I did it on the other one as well. That's where I wrote the pull, but you're going to just add this. If you want to add this, like I said, you're going to have to do a bigger envelope, because this does take a little bit more space. But it is nice to hang on to and something to grab, and you can also always write pull on there, or you know, anything. All right, so I'm gonna show you how this one opens up. Did I get that in the right way? All right, so this is the one that's gonna open up really nicely. When you adhere it, I adhere it up like this, so that you don't, like I adhered this little part to here, so it was hard to open. But aren't they cute? So that's that one. Here's the other one. And then write your sentiment on the inside. So this is your card all together, just like that. Put your sentiment on the inside. And then this one, you can write another message on the inside. So here they all are. Aren't they stinking adorable? And they're so easy. They're really easy. You need to try it. Don't be afraid to try it. I should have punched another one for this, but I'll do that later when I post my pictures. All right, I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. If you need any supplies, you can shop on my blog at stampingwithamore.com. And I will put all the measurements in this video so you can know which ones to use. I may even do a little PDF for this one because there is a lot of measurements for it. That is it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. I hope you all have a blessed one, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye.